Birdie. You a good girl. Oh, check this out. Okay, let's see what we got here. I thought I put a bag in here to. I did. Oh, you're checking things out. Good girl. Hi. Hello. Oh my goodness. Food's going flying. What is this? Hi. All right, there we go. Okay, come here, little munchkin. Hi. What? Come over here. Yeah. Oh, look at, we got snacks. What is that? What is that? Okay, this is lesson number 1 with Birdie. So this is the very first time I am meeting these puppies. And we are just gonna get started with some real foundation basic stuff here. We're in a new space. I'm not sure if Birdie's been down here yet into this training space, so it might take her a little minute to get acclimated. I'm just letting her see that I've got snacks and she's really interested in that. Good girl. Yeah, where are we? What's going on? I'm gonna grab some toys for her. These treats that I have, I'm trying to break up into smaller pieces. Because you're just a little teeny baby. What is this? Huh? Oh, you like that crinkly chicken? Huh? Ooh. Oh, what is that? Hi. Oh, you give me little kisses? You want to bite the clicker. That one's not a toy. Hello. Hello. Oh, yeah, what is that? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with Birdie, this one's Birdie, is teach her that when she hears the sound of the click, that means that she's going to get a treat. I've got some treats in my hand here. I'm going to hold the clicker behind my back so it's not too loud. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to let her eat that piece of food. And I'm going to do this probably 5 times in a row. Clicking, and then letting her have that snack. Now, I can either click and feed it directly to her, just like that, from my hand, or I can click and put the food on the ground. So dogs actually need to learn that they can get reinforcement from your hand or from the ground. Now eventually, if I'm going to feed the dog the food on the ground, I like to tell them get it, but right now all I'm concerned about is that Birdie makes the association between the sound of the clicker and then being offered food. You're so smart. Yes, you are. Yeah. So Birdie is just 8 or 9 weeks old. She's just an itty bitty little baby. So we are going to keep things pretty simple, but we can start training right away. You know, definitely want to get puppies motivated and excited in training as soon as you bring them home. So that can start, you know, as early as bringing your puppy home. What is this? We're going to take little breaks in between food training exercises with some cuddles and some play, right? Oh, that's my watch. Yeah. It's interesting, huh? Ooh, what is that? Because I really want this training to stay fun and motivating for the puppy. So we take breaks in between. Okay, we're gonna try and charge the clicker again. So that's what we were just doing. I'm gonna click. Go ahead and just feed our little piece of food. See? This time I'm gonna set the food down on the ground. That piece is huge. Click. This time I'm gonna feed it to her from my hand. Good girl. And on the ground. You also notice that right now I'm holding the clicker behind my back. I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, clicking too close to Birdie and scaring her. Obviously we want the dog to love the clicker. That time I set it on the ground, but I set it on the laminate floor instead of the carpet. Kind of get her moving off onto a different substrate. Yes. So that's called charging the clicker. When you teach the puppy or any age dog that the sound of the click means that food is going to come. I call that charging the clicker. You think that clicker's a toy, huh? Yeah. What is that? What is that? So when we do it again in a second here, yeah, you got to chew on that. We're going to make it a little bit different by having Birdie follow the food in my hand. So instead of just clicking and feeding it right to her, I'm going to have her follow the food first, then I'll click and feed. So I'll be marking the fact that she's following the food with the sound of the clicker. So just a slight variation on what we were doing before. What is this? You like squeakies? Oh, we picked it up that time, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show Birdie that I have the food. I'm going to have her follow it for a few steps. Then I'm going to click and feed her. So now what I'm doing is teaching this little tiny puppy that when you follow my hand signal, you get rewarded for that. Real basic concept, but this is a real little tiny baby. So we got to keep these concepts basic to begin with to build up our foundations. Good girl. You might be surprised that we do have to teach dogs that they can follow food in our hands. If you have just an extremely food motivated dog, you don't do this as a tiny baby, they may still be happy to follow food in your hand. But for some dogs, this is actually something that we need to teach them. Okay, so I'm going to do this a couple more times. Just having her follow the food. This is also a great opportunity to work on what we call bite inhibition. So right now Birdie's like, oh, I know you have food in your hand. I want the treat. She's kind of licking at my hand a little bit, but sometimes she's using her teeth. And so if I click the clicker and she's like biting my finger, which she's actually doing right now, I'm just going to withhold that treat until she starts to lick my hand again instead of biting it. So that's also teaching her, oh, I shouldn't use my teeth on humans. I have to be very gentle, right? So if she's biting my hand to get the food, she doesn't get it. I'm going to wait until she licks my hand, or at least uses a much softer mouth to get that cookie. Okay, one more time. Just having her follow, and you see how well she wants to follow it now and how connected to my hand she is. I'm going to click, and I'm going to wait for her to stop biting me. I'm going to wait for her to use her tongue instead of her teeth. Right there, she did it. She licked me instead of putting her teeth on my finger. That was holding the treat. Yeah, you're getting more confident down here. She's like, where are the snacks? No, I want those treats. So each time we do something new, after we do it for a few repetitions, then we're just gonna take a little mental break. Yeah, good girl. Go get it. Here it is. So that's what we're doing right now, taking a little play break. There it is, good girl. What about this one? Like those strings. There you go, yeah. That's fun. A little tuggy. Good girl. Ooh, that one squeaks too. Good girl. Okay, so the next variation that we're going to do, so again, very similar to what we just did, but you'll notice just adding a little step each time, little new step. This time what we're going to do is I am going to have her follow the food lure that's in my hand again. Oh, nope, you don't bite me, you bite the toy. Instead of her following the food lure in my hand again, well, I am going to have her do that, but I'm going to start to pair it with her name. I'm going to teach her that whenever she hears her name, that good things are going to happen. So this is like a super basic foundation step in teaching your dog, how to respond to their name and eventually a recall or to come when called. So it's really important that we build a lot of value for a dog's name so that when they hear it, they're associating it with good things and they want to come to us. Good girl. Good girl. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so again, I'm going to show her that I have the food, but this time as I have her follow it, I'm going to say her name. Birdie. Click. Wait for her to use her tongue and not her teeth. Yeah, you like that food, huh? There it is. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. Birdie. Good girl. Do this a few times. Birdie. Birdie. So this time I'm gonna say her name and put the food on the ground. Birdie. Yeah, good girl. Trying to make these treats small because their little bellies fill up so quickly. Here it is. Birdie. Oh, I didn't click the clicker. Birdie. I think I'm going to do it a couple more times. I forgot to click the clicker. Ready? Birdie. Birdie. Good girl. And a couple more from my hand. Birdie. That one didn't break so good. Birdie. So now I'm using more of a flat hand and I'm moving my hand faster, and she knows now that she should probably follow that. Birdie. Because there's probably food in it. So I stayed very close to her in the beginning of the video, and now I'm moving my hand further away a little bit faster, and I know she's committed to following it. Birdie. I'm prepping her for Birdie. Some hand targets. So I've got, this is the first thing that I teach puppies. I've got food in my hand, she's following, and then she's eating that food out of my flat palm, and I'm clicking at the same time. So I did that a bunch of times in a row with food in my hand. Birdie. This time I'm going to do it with no food in my hand. Wait for her to finish crunching that last piece. Birdie. As soon as I felt her nose, I clicked the clicker, and then I fed her afterwards. So this is the first behavior that she's offered on her own. And we call this the hand target. Now I'm going to go back to a piece of food in my hand. Birdie. Click when she eats it. I'm going to do one more with food in my hand. Birdie. Now I'm going to try with no food. Birdie. And I click when I feel her nose, then I reach into my treat pouch and I feed her the treat. So this behavior is called a hand target. Okay, good girl. And if we want to name it something, I'm going to go back to a piece of food again because this is so brand new for her. So when I have a piece of food in my hand, I'm luring the behavior. And when I have no food in my hand, she's offering the behavior. Birdie. Touch. So we can call the hand target touch. Birdie, touch. Good job. Smart. I'm gonna do this one more time. No food in my hand. Touch. Good girl. All right, I'm gonna take a little break. Close up that treat pouch. Yeah, what? What? There's your toy again. Yeah. That was just a lot of work. Yeah. Uh-oh, that's where the food is. That's where the food is. It's closed though, right now. Oh, I'm gonna bite the clicker again. Okay, put it over here. What? What are you doing, huh? So by also taking these breaks in between exercises, it also just helps to keep her motivated as well. As you can see, like she really still wants the food, which lets me know that she wants to keep working. What? Is this fun down here? Are you having a good time? Oh, here it is. There it is. Yeah. Whoa, you got it. So the last thing that we're going to intro to Birdie today is the first step in stationing on a mat. So this is a long behavior chain, and that means that we're going to break up the big behavior into teeny tiny links of a chain. And so today is the very first foundation step one behavior in that. And all I want to teach her, my goal for this week, is that if I put the mat down on the ground, you should come over to it, because fun things will happen. Then I'm going to pick the mat up and move it, and if you follow it and come back over to it again, more fun things will happen. So I'm going to use a smaller mat. I just have this bigger one down just because little linoleum floors are a little bit slidey. Pick this one up, and I'm going to put down her placemat. What are you doing? This mat's a little bit smaller. It'll be comfortable for her just to get 4 feet on and eventually lay down. But all we're going to do today is I'm just going to set this mat down on the ground. There, she's coming over to it. I'm going to click that, and look at what I'm going to do. Just sprinkle a couple cookies right onto this mat. Whoop! I lost her focus. Look what I have. Yeah, here it is. I like to do maybe 2 or 3 cookies right on the mat, and you can kind of point them out to the dog. After she finishes eating that last one, I'm going to pick the mat up from underneath her, and I'm going to just move it over here. Pam, come here. What's over here? You'll notice that I'm clicking the clicker first, then I'm putting the food down on the mat. Here's one more. Good girl. Okay, and I'm just going to move it again. What is this? Good girl, yeah. Ooh, that's a big one. Can I break it up? Yep. Here's another one. And we're going to do this one more time. Get that crumb. Okay, so I'm picking the mat up from underneath her before she has a chance to leave it. Because eventually we'll tell her when she can leave it. But right now, it's over here. Good girl. She comes to the mat. Click happens first, then the cookies. Right now, you can kind of put those cookies anywhere on the mat. Don't really care. Good job. Okay, perfect. We're up. And that's all we're going to do for today. Say bye, Birdie.